Sorare video. This video is going to be talking about my top 3 tips in playing the amateur and semi-pro divisions to win rewards, to be the most likely you can be to win and get the maximum amount out of the players and the money that you have. Now, for those who don't know, the amateur is the free-to-play modes, and the semi-pro is the kind of next step where you only need one limited player, and you use the common cards from the amateur divisions. Now, looking at my lineups, I have played semi-pro for quite a while now, probably I'd say 6 to 8 months. I've been playing semi-pro and I have won decent amount of rewards. You can see how much I've won on my previous videos. And if you want to follow my journey, you can subscribe and like the video and go back to watch other videos. I will be posting daily until the summer is over, trying to get back into it. But anyways, back into the video, my top 3 tips. And now, as you can see, you can kind of get an impression of what I'll be doing. You see a lot of the same kits. In a lot of these divisions, and that brings me on to my first tip, which is stacking. And for those who do not know about stacking, that is basically having multiple players from the same team. Now, most people would do this with a goalkeeper and a defender, or a midfielder and attacker, or a midfielder and 2 attackers, or a goalie and 2 defenders, for example. However, this can be a 5-man or whatever, but in amateur and semi-pro, the maximum you can have is 3 for semi-pro, including the limited card. And what are the benefits to stacking? Now, for example, we're going to use my Liga semi-pro, which kind of doesn't really work, but I'm going to use it anyway because the positives of stacking is if that team does well, those players you assume do well. And now for this, we haven't done this very well. Probably should have had a Atletico Madrid goalie. That would kind of work, but Griezmann, normally he hasn't been performing very well. Start of this season does really well, and so I've kind of got the DePaul, Griezmann, and Hermoso kind of stack. So that is the kind of reason, is that you only need one game to go well, and the upside is of DePaul getting an assist and Griezmann getting the goal, and vice versa. So double decisives within the team, and it makes it more likely for you to win rewards, get bigger scores, things like that. Now, as we can see, we've got it kind of all over, and the biggest one for me that is the French League semi-pro for me, which is kind of what you can see is that I've got a goalie, Diouf, 2 defenders from Reims, and they've got a hard fixture. And I don't know if Agbadou plays 70% on play sharp, so hopefully he does. But I've risked it, and we've got 2 from Rennes. So this is a full stack team, which I only need 2 games to go well. I need 1 clean sheet and a couple goals from these teams, which makes it a lot more likely, and you get bigger scores from all the players. So that is stacking and why I would do it. Next is for semi-pro, this is the limited player. Now, the limited player I would recommend is a defender because they're the cheapest and normally score the best, and a player that is consistent, that is L15 is pretty around 50 or something. They're pretty consistent, but they've got that upside of a massive score. And now for the semi-pro divisions, because they're only the top 200 win rewards, you need basically to win the reward, you need a very big score from the limited player. It doesn't have to be that big, but I think at least a 70, I would say you probably need from the limited player. So, and it's very important, and it gives you the best chance because they've got a 50% bonus, so it can be massive and give you a massive edge. So that's why I would always pick good, consistent with big upside defenders because you get the most like value for money. As well as that, I would say less is more. Now, what I mean by that is that don't splurge on lots of players from like multiple players. Save up, just get one player because overall the season it will be worth it because he'll be more consistently doing better instead of them multiple cheaper players who won't hit that kind of like that high score that you need to win rewards basically. Now, for the third and final big tip I will have for semi-pro and amateur divisions is this is before the redraft that they're going to implement in September or whatever. So I would utilize the 4 swaps to focus on matchups because with 4 swaps you can basically switch out the whole team. So focus on fixtures. Focus on them game weeks where Man City are against Sheffield, or you know what I mean, where the fixture are heavily in their favour. Now this can be hard with stacks. If you, for example, you have a limited stack, which I have kept even though in an unfavourable fixture, so I do understand that. But apart from that, I would constantly be switching them out. You will lose the XP, but the XP will be lost before this redraft, and I think using the 4 swaps to the best you can to focus on the game weeks and the matchups, I would say is the best option possible. And you can look on this on Sorare data as well, and if you like kind of know the league, you should know that like the better teams will smash smaller teams. Like you don't have to be really into football to know that Man City will do well against Sheffield. But that is my 3 tips for semi-pro and amateur